Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to continue our discussion on the SQL-like functions from dplyr package. We said that this is very important because this is all about data manipulation, data wrangling, and financial analytics, of course, require that we understand functions like this because we will be needing to clean data, to generate new data, subsets of data from our data. Okay, so we need these functions. It's like filter, summarize, group by, mutate, arrange, join, and of course, select. So today, we're going to continue our discussion on filter and hopefully reach summarize and summarize group by from my previous section. Our previous section, we were able to discuss select, summarize, and group by. Okay. All right, let's have a quick review. We said that SQL, structured query language, is all about manipulating data. Given your data, you can generate a new subset of data, a new set of data from that data by doing some data manipulation functions, just like filter. Okay, and we also learned about the very important pipe operator, because the pipe operator allows us to sequentially process data. Otherwise, if we don't have the pipe operator, it would really make our coding very complex. So last time, what we did was to load the flights data set, okay, flights data set coming from the NYC flights. And when we view the flights data set, by way of review, we said that this contains 435,000 plus observations and 19 variables. Okay. So we learned how to get the structure of the data will provide us information about the data. Okay. So what happened here? Let me make sure I load my flights. Okay. And then structure of flights, control, enter. So I have it here. I have it here below also. So it's a table consisting of 435 plus 1,000 rows by 19 columns. Table is a special table. It's actually a data frame. It's a table data frame. And then we learned about the variables that are present or that come with the flights data set. You have year, month, that's signified by the dollar there. And that also implies that you cannot access these variables without having to pass through the flights. Okay, so that's what we learned last time. You can, for example, get the mean of departure time, because if you just run mean and then depth time, R will not recognize depth time because depth time falls under the flights data set. So you have to incorporate it, mean, flights, and then dollar depth time. I hope that's clear, class, and I won't run that anymore because we have discussed that before. Just a quick review. Then we were using the first variable, first function, which is filter. The filter function allows us to remove rows of data based on a certain particular criterion. Okay, we define the criterion based on your variable, based on your column variable. Okay, so last time we discussed creating this object, Alaska Flights, okay, by filtering the carrier variable. So am I correct, class? Could you kindly confirm we discussed this already? Kindly chat, please, class, if you have this code already. Yes, thank you. So we already discussed this. So let me just quickly review, class. We're creating this object, Alaska Flights, and then we're using this assignment operator. And the shortcut of this, class, I hope you recall, Alt minus. Okay, Alt minus. Then we're creating this object called Alaska Flights. And this object comes from the dataset flights, okay? And then this is our pipe operator, very important pipe operator, Control Shift N. Okay, without the pipe operator, our code will be very cumbersome, especially if we're piping several objects in one go. So here it's a simple, we're just using the filter function. The filter function will allow us to remove rows that we don't need. And how are we filtering here? We're using the carrier. And here we didn't need to write filter flights $carrier. Why? Because we already defined the object that we're using. Okay, and by way of review, we said that we can make use of the table function in R. This is also powerful table. And we'd like to have the cross tabulation of flights and then carrier. So that's why we have to go through letter C. There. We have to go through flights in order to get carrier. That's what the $sign stands for. Control Enter, and it will give us a cross tabulation of the different carriers and their frequencies. So here we're expecting that if we filter Alaska Airlines, you'll get 7843 rows of observation. Okay, so let's run that. So this one, if I run this, and take note, it should be double equal to. This is not an equation, okay? This is carrier is the same as AS. So that's what that means really. So we have to use double equal to. All right, so if I run this, what will be generated here in my environment is an object called Alaska Flights. There you go. And it has 7843 as expected observations. So if I have this printed here, shown here, then the carrier will all be AS there. And it will have 7843 rows of observation. So that was expected. And notice that there are 19 columns because in the filter function, we're not changing the number of columns. Okay, to change the number of columns, to specify only which column to select in your object, you use the select function, not the filter function. So this is filter function. For filter function, we're removing rows of observation that we don't need. Okay, so also, there was another function that we did, also filter, but this time what we were filtering was PDX. Okay, so once again, if we use the table data set, sorry. Okay. Table of flights, and then destination. Okay, tab destination, Control Enter. And if you take a look at PDX, where's PDX? Above here, PDX 1942. So if we're going to filter all the flights going to PDX, we expect that it will be 1942. Okay, so this is the function. We're creating this object, Portland flights, and then use the same object flights, and then filter where the destination is equal to PDX. And then we run this, and Alaska flights is, Portland flights is 1942. Okay, let me pause for a while and ask you if we're clear so far. Any clarifications, any questions? Any questions, class? Okay, clear? Okay, good, thank you. Thank you for your feedback. How about the others? Only 2 have responded. Let's just give your classmates a few more seconds. In case you have questions, class, please feel free to raise your hands, okay, call me or chat. Okay, good. Thank you so much. Okay, now when we filter, it's also possible to filter several variables at the same time. So here, what we discussed before was we're going to filter the origin of the date of the flight, JFK. We're also going to filter both BTV and shuttle. So it's either the destination is BTV or the destination is shuttle. Okay, and also the months are 10, 11, 12. Okay, and we were instructed to make use of this object, BTV C flights fall. So that's very easy, class. Okay, so this is the object, assignment operator. Again, we're using the flights data set, and then we filter. Now take note that the filter has three elements here, okay? First is origin. Origin double equal to JFK, okay? It will be wrong if we just use equal to, okay? And then, okay, and then is for the pipe operator. And also, we filter destination. Okay, take note the destination here. It's because the statement is either BTV or shuttle. So it will be as one using the OR operator. Okay, destination is BTV or destination is shuttle. So this means that it will include only those from BTV or from shuttle. And also the month, okay, the month, since the months here are numbered 1 up to 12. So we're starting with 10 greater than or equal to 10, including 10. So when we run this, we will now have this object, BTV C flights 1192. And if we check it, then it will contain only months 10, 11, 12. There will be no other months there. The origin will all be coming from JFK here. All JFK, origin. And also, the destination will be shuttle or BTV. We can check, class, we can check. For example, let's create again the table. This time our object is BTV shuttle here, flights fall, right? And then let's first check dollar. If we check the month, see. So it's only 10, 11, 12. Okay, so let's check another one. Let's check the origin. Origin, and this will only reflect all JFK. And then last one, arrow up. And then let's see, destination, we expect only two. There, BTV and shuttle. Okay, 1192. All right, so I hope that's clear, class. We can use filter several times if you want to only include those data, those observations based on a certain criteria. Okay, and take note how we, let me just erase this one. So many Alaska flights, I will close that one also. Okay, then here I go, SQL. Take note, there's only one pipe operator here, because you can have several pipe operators. Only one pipe operator. However, we're filtering different things. And take note, we're using the AND function. The AND will require strictly that this be also taken into account, or it should also include that specific filter. Okay. All right. Now, instead of using the ampersand, you can also use the comma. It will give you the same. I don't know if I shared this with you, but let me just do it. Control C. Okay, so what was I saying here? Instead of using the ampersand, the and, you can use the comma. It will be the same. So this is saying the origin should be JFK and the destination should be coming from either BTV or shuttle, and the month should be greater than or equal to 10. If I run that, instead of the ampersand, I have the comma, I'll get the same answer. So I'll not do that anymore, but if you want, you can kindly check. You'll also have 1192 observations. Okay. Now, how about this one, class? We want to create an object called not BTV shuttle, okay? But the flight should not be coming from BTV or shuttle. So let's first check, class. Again, let's create a table, and then flights. I want to see the destination again. Okay, first we have shuttle, how many? 5229, okay? 5229. And then also BTV. BTV is 3456. So 3456, 3456. Okay. So if we're not going to include BTV 3456 or shuttle 5229, how many observations will we have? But that's very easy. We just get how many observations our flight's data set is. We can use the n row, okay? N row minus the number of observations for BTV minus the number of observations for shuttle. So if we subtract those two, then we're actually counting or generating an object that includes all the other destinations except for shuttle and BTV. Oops, sorry. Okay, sorry. Wrong spelling. It's NRO, not NOR. Okay, NRO, sorry. Okay, 42666667. So that's the number of observations we expect if we're going to filter and not if and exclude BTV and shuttle. So how do we write that? Okay, I think I provided this with you last time, and we're creating this object called not BTV shuttle, same thing flights, and then take note of this. We are also putting it in parentheses and put the negation here. It means do not include BTV nor shuttle. So both will not be included. So if they are both excluded, then we get 426667. Okay, let me run this. Okay, they're not BTV shuttle 426667. Okay, and let's check. There you go. So the only filter there is the destination. So if you try to find the destination here, not of BTV, you'll not find it. So let's check that. Again, the very useful table. Table not BTV, not shuttle, it's there. Dollar, destination, let's check. Destination, do you have shuttle here? Okay. SBN, SC, no shuttle. No shuttle. And also BTV. Let's check BTV. BHBN, BO, none, no BTV. Okay, so we know that we were able to generate the correct object because we excluded both BTV and shuttle. Now, what's important here is how the syntax was created. So take note of this, class. Okay, the not was outside the parentheses of destination. If we do this, did I share this code with you? Please check, please. Did I share that code with you? Yes or no, please? This one. I think I did, class. Okay, thank you. But anyway, for those of you who, for one reason or another, were not able to get it, nako, let me see. I don't think this will fit. Okay, so that's too long. Let me just limit it. Let's see. This will not work up to this one. Control C, up to X, chat, Control V. Okay, good. All right, let's quickly take a look at that just for, I hope you understand this. Now, if we use this instead, this one, why will this not work? Okay, so we're going to use destination is not BTV or destination is not shuttle. Okay, now be very careful about this. So take note, not BTV, the symbol is exclamation point equal to. It's wrong to put double equal to. Okay, you might be thinking destination. Okay, since this is not strict equality, there should be two equal signs. Okay, if you include the exclamation point to mean not, then there should only be one operator there, the equal to. Okay, all right. So why is this wrong? Read this class. Destination is not BTV. So for the first argument, not BTV means that you can include shuttle, right? You can include shuttle. Okay, so in this case, shuttle is included. But in this case, destination, not shuttle. So shuttle will not be included here, but BTV will be included here. But why is this wrong, class? This is wrong because of the use of this one, or. So if you're using or, you may include items that are satisfied by any of them. Destination, not shuttle, means you can include BTV. So that will appear. Let me run this first. If I run this, then notice that you go back to the original 435,000 plus. Now that is so because you're saying here that BTV, that shuttle can be included, or BTV can be included. So if they both can be included, then that means that you revert back to the original data. Okay. So careful with the use of the exclamation here. So how do we correctly write this? So instead of or, it should be and. Okay, for strict compliance. So we're saying here destination, not BTV, and destination, not shuttle. If we impose that, then both conditions will be met. So both BTV and shuttle will not be included. So if I run this class, I'm now getting there 426,667, which is the same as the first one, where we excluded both of them. Okay. All right, this is again wrong because here, not BTV or shuttle. So what will happen here is that it will delete. It will not include BTV, but it will include shuttle here. Okay, if you run this. So if we run that class, how many observations do we have for BTV? We have 346, right? Okay, so not including BTV, that's only subtracting 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we run that, so what happened? Again, sorry, the spelling of the rows. N row 431,896. So that's what will happen, class. So if I run this, Not BTV shuttle one. Where's that? What's the name I gave it? Not BTV shuttle one. Here, 435. 435. Sorry. Wait. Not BTV. Oh, sorry. I went back to the same. Here, I should have run this here class. Not BTV and include shuttle. So this is equivalent to just not BTV. So this will give us 431, okay? Which is the same as the one here. Okay, so let me pause for a while and ask if you have any questions, if you got that class. I'm going through this quickly because I know that this is mostly self-explanatory, but I explained it anyway. Okay, and I hope you're able to follow. So again, may I have your confirmation if you're okay, or if you need me to repeat something there. Okay, good, thank you. How about the others, please? Okay. Okay, good. Okay, now we can filter several items at the same time. So let me change this a bit. Here. And let's take a look at this one. In this case, you're filtering different destinations. But take note that you're just using one variable here, dest. Okay, so can we concatenate this? Because anyway, they're the same, they're all dest, okay, destination. And then we're just identifying different types. Okay. So try to run this class, this one. Many airports and then flights, and then filter destination, and then this one. Only 5. We're only filtering 5. So we will be including only 5 destinations. Tell me please if that runs. Okay, waiting for your response, class, if it run. Okay, thank you. Cecile doesn't run. Okay, kindly share your answer with everybody, even if it doesn't run. About the others, class, I only have one response. The others, please. You just run it, class, right? Doesn't run then, kay Angelo. Sino pa, class? No responses yet, class? Only 2 responses? What about the others? Okay. Okay, sige, thank you. Error. Okay, error, class, no? So let's take a look at this code. Flights and then filter destination and then So we're using the pipe operator twice here. Okay, but this is syntactically wrong. Okay, because flights and then filter, destination, and then you haven't defined, okay? You haven't defined what destination is, and then you're going to pipe it immediately. So you're just piping this first, flights, and then destination. So what do I do with the destination? So before you use and then, you should have asked R to do something about the destination. So this is wrong. What we should be doing is percentage in percentage. So if you have, for example, this variable destination, and then you want to filter, in this case, because we're filtering several values in your vector. So this is a vector of characters, SEA, SFO, San Francisco, Portland, etc. Then you use this one, okay? Use this one. So it simply means that destination, okay, in, because destination has several factors, several values class. So only this one, okay? All right, so if you run that class, what happens? Feedback please class, what happens if you change the pipe operator to something like percentage in percentage, which is once again used when you're identifying a vector class? Okay, works now. Okay, good. How about the others class? I hope it worked also in your case. So if you check that object, that many airports, I have it here, many airports. Okay, I think it printed there automatically. You have 22,979 observations. And the destinations are only coming from those. Okay, those five. Okay, this one, shuttle, SFO. Let's check class. Again, the very powerful and useful table function. Table, and what are we what do we want to uh, cross-tabulate? Many airports, and then dollar dest. So let's see how many destinations there are in the object many airports. Okay, BDL, BTV, PDX, shuttle. Okay, so those are the only observations that you can find in your filter, because that's what we define. Okay, let's pause for a while, and may I ask you if this is clear so far? Kindly please chat in the chat box if so far the use of percentage in percentage, if that's clear, in the context of the filter function, in the context of uh, the piping that we're doing. I'd like to have a response from you if we're okay so far. Okay, good. Thank you. Although hindi lahat pa-participate, sana lahat mag-participate sa pag-comment. All right. Let's move on, class, because we want to reach certain. Okay, thank you. Good. Error in filter. Okay. Sandali, may question dito. Let's check. Justin, can you please share your screen? Sorry, Justin, hindi ko nakita kagad yung comment mo. Okay, Justin, kindly share your screen, please. Nag-double comment ka na pala. I'm sorry about that. Okay, let's see. Class, help me. Help me. Okay. So, ano yung error dito, class? Somebody, please. Anyone, please, paki-unmute na lang. What's the error here? What should Justin do? I might be going too fast, kaya hindi niya na nasundan to. Class, please. Take a look what Justin did. Destination and then pipe operator. What should he have done with that class? Pwedeng paki-unmute, please. Sino to? Angelo, please. Angelo, could you please unmute?
Sir, I should have used the percentage in instead of the pipe operator po.
Okay, thank you. So, Justin, as I discussed, mali itong pipe operator na yan, no? So that should have been replaced by percentage in percentage. Percentage in percentage, there. Sige, i-run mo na yan. Okay, there, that will now run. There you go. Diba? So, dito sa ilalim, yung many airports mo. Okay, there. Okay, and what we did, mag-create sa console, mag-table ka. Sige nga, table. Let's see what's inside the destination. Table, please. Sige, mag-table ka, table sa console. Sa console na lang. Table. And then, open parenthesis. Yung many airports ang gamitin mo. Many airports. Okay. Huwag mo i-type ng buo, no? Andiyan na lumabas na. Yan, tab, dollar. Dollar, please. Destination. DEST. Okay, run that. Okay, so you can find here the 5 destinations, diba? Which we specified in our code. So BDL, etc. So the object that we created only has these values in your destination. Okay, Justin, does that answer your question?
Yes po, sir. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, thank you. Let me take control of the screen again, please. Okay, so let's now go to, let's continue our discussion, SQL. So we use the percentage in percentage. Okay, so the percentage in percentage operator is useful for looking for matches commonly in one vector or variable compared to another. So let me just share these notes with you. Okay, and let's go to summarize function next. All right, so we're now with summarize function. Let's see if this will be accepted by Zoom. Yeah, good. Okay, so let's now go to the next function. Okay, before we go to the summarize function, let's insert now here the Control-Alt-I, the select function. Okay, so we're dealing with flights, for example, flights. And if I want only the following variables, let's say carrier and flight, okay? Or carrier flight origin. Let's create a variable. Let's create an object where you have the variables carrier, flight, and origin. So how do we do that? So this time we are removing all the other variables, all the other columns that we don't need. We only need carrier, flight, and origin. So if to do that class, okay, so let's create object flights. Say let's just put carrier, okay? Flights carrier, alt minus, and then once again we start with flights, Control Shift M, okay, all right. So we use select class, select. We're going to select because we're going to reduce the number of columns, the number of variables. Okay, and select, what are we selecting? Concatenate natin because we have 3. You have carrier. What else, class? Was it flights? No, sorry. Carrier, flight lang, and then origin. Carrier, this would generate an error term class because R will not recognize flight. And then origin. Okay, take a look at this class. So we're creating this object, flights carrier, then we're using the flights data set and then select. So see what happens here, class. Select, and if I print the flights carrier here, flights carrier. So notice that the number of rows did not change. It's still 435 plus 1,000. Okay? Only the columns, the variables were selected. Okay, so you only have 3 variables here out of the 19 original, but the number of rows remained the same, 435,000 plus. Okay, so that's very easy. Select class. So if you want to create an object where you only have specific rows or columns, then okay, then actually class, let's say after this, you can also filter this. You can filter this. For example, okay, let's do that as by way of showing you how powerful the pipe operator is. Okay, so we have here class. So let me copy this, Control C, and then Control V. Let's see how logical, how powerful the pipe operator is. So we're going to select, right? So we have this, and then Control Shift M, Shift Enter, and then select, and then filter class. Filter. Okay, so we have origin, or what else do we have here? Carrier, flight, origin. What are the different carriers? So let's filter. Let's say only, let's say carrier. Okay. Let me first create a table here, flights, so that we know the different carriers. Okay. So let's just choose United Airlines. Okay. And so this 3. Okay. OOUAWN. Okay. Let's see. Okay. You recall what did we do a while ago, class? This one, right? Carrier in. Okay. You can use that here, percentage in percentage. Okay. In what? You have what are those? OO, UA, YX, YX, WN and YX. WN, WN, and YX. Okay. I take a look at this class. So here we're creating this object flights carrier. We first start with flights, and then we select these 3 variables. And then once we have this class, and then we filter. Okay, so there are two action term SQL verbs here that we're using, select and filter. So it will first select, and then from that object, it will filter. So let's see, let's run this. Okay, and take a look at this flights carrier here. So 187, notice a while ago when we just selected, there were 400 plus 1,000 observations, but now it's 187. Okay. Okay, so if we click this, we have the 3 variables, okay? Carrier, flight, origin, okay? But your carrier has been filtered, okay? Let's check. Table, and our object is, what's that? Flights carrier. Flights carrier, and then dollar. Let's check the carrier. So there are only 4. Okay. If we, on the other hand, check the origin, I'm going to replace the origin here. There should be 3, because there are 3 origins, and we didn't subtract from any of this. Okay. So I hope I'm not going too fast, class. I hope you're able to follow. But if you feel that I'm going too fast, I could re-explain. Okay, if you have any questions. Okay, so please, may I have your confirmation if so far the discussion is clear. And we were able to see here how we combine the select and then filter. Or you can, of course, you can do filter first and then select, but you have to look at the process itself. Okay, may I see some feedback from your end? Thank you, Clyde, thank you, Esther. How about the others? Okay, kay Lucille, error. Sige, let me stop sharing. Lucille, kindly share your screen. Okay, class, please help me. Let's help Lucille. I want you to figure out what should be done with this one. Yung kay Lucille. Okay. Can you increase, please, Lucille? All right, select carrier, flight, origin, okay, and then filter. What's wrong, class? What's wrong? I saw the error. I'd like you to be the one to comment, class. Anyone, please? Class, please. Class. Yes, correct. Thank you, Bianca. Yeah. Bianca has a comment there. Lucille, missing concatenator. So you'll have to put there after percentage in percentage, you'll have to put the concatenator there. C. And then open parenthesis there. Okay. All right. So that will be okay now. May error pa rin yata. Did it run? Ano error? Nasa ilalim kasi yung your console is below, kaya ang hirap natin makita. Class, sana yung console nyo nasa right side, no? And there was a reason for that, kaya natin yun. Okay, may error pa ba? Sandali. Can you run the whole code chunk, please? Run the whole code chunk. Anong message? Hindi natin kasi makita yung message sa baba. Can you please change the position of your console? Kasi pag nasa upper right yan, mas makikita kagad natin. Nasa ilalim kasi it's so difficult to, I don't know, is there any reason why, Lucille, you don't want the console to be on the upper right?
Oo, sir, nakasanayan ko lang po. And I've been running the current job po for a while and it still won't work.
Sige, increase mo yung space ng increase the space of the console. Hindi, console sa baba. Gusto ko makita yung message eh. Hindi ko makita yung message sa console. Yan. Down ka pa, down. Para makita natin message.
O yan na po, sir. Ito na po yun.
Hindi ko makita eh. Kasi may nakaharang eh. If that was on the upper right, mas makikita sana natin yan. Pero I can't comment kasi hindi ko makita yung error. Ano ba sabi?
Ano po siya, error, unexpected symbol po in flights carrier.
Unexpected symbol. So,
Dito po.
ano yung symbol dito class na ano, ng mali? Can you increase the size? It's so small, hindi ko makita. Punta ka sa tools, paki-increase na lang yung ano. Punta ka sa tools. And global options sa baba. Global options, appearance.
Nandun po, sir.
Okay. Okay mo na, okay. Ano ba inano mo? Ano ba in-increase mo? Maliit pa rin eh. Okay, anyway. Hindi ko talaga makita yan. Talagang dapat unlocyan mo para makita natin. So, class, tulungan niyo nga ako kung ano mali dito. Yung select, no? Ano mali sa select class? Yan. Okay. Yung select function kasi kanina may space eh. No? Tapos walang close parenthesis. Okay, ano pa? Nawala na yung code chunk mo. Hindi ko na makita yung sa source window.
Nandun po, sir. Sorry.
Select. Yung select select. Dapat may open parenthesis yan. Select. Sa code chunk mo, sa line 414. Line 414 sa code chunk mo. Kanina kasi walang open parenthesis. Tanggalin mo yung space nga between sa select. Yung select, yung space doon, tanggalin mo yung sa open parenthesis. Itabi mo yung open parenthesis sa select. Ano nangyari? Hello? Lucille? Okay, nawala. Okay, so let me continue sharing class. Share screen. Okay. As I said, class, it's best for your console to be here on the upper right kasi mas nakikita natin eh. So it's not a matter of nakasanayan nyo, no? It's a matter of convenience for you. Kasi pag nasa ilalim yung console, if it's under, and how do you check? How do you check now the output if there are yung output nyo sa which will be reflected in the console. So it's best for you to put it in the upper right. So I've told you several times about it. So kung nakasanayan nyo yung console sa ilalim, ayusin nyo yung nakasanayan nyo. Kasi hindi siya klase, hindi siya efficient eh. Yun ang point ko doon. No? It's not a matter of nakasanayan, it's a matter of what should be more efficient so that you can easily see the results of your code. Okay, so let's go now to, where are we now? Okay, let's now go to summarize. So we were able to include yung select function, and in fact here, we used both select and filter at the same time and used double piping, pipe first from flights, pipe it to select. After you have created this object, pipe it again to filter. So that's how the logic goes. If you were using this class, by the way, you can of course use this name, select, no? Okay, try nyo nga to class. So select, and then, no, iba pala to. Sorry. You cannot, iba yung sa select, no? Okay, yung sa, kasi here we have one variable si carrier. So we are doing, you are using the specific variable and then identifying the different, the elements in your variable that has this, that has these levels. Okay, so let's now go to the summarize function. Okay, have I shared this class with you? Yung summarize? Feedback please, class. Did I share this portion with you? Okay, good, thank you. All right. So the summarize class will allow us to create a summary statistic. If you're, for example, computing for the average, for the mean, for the standard deviation, you know that if you have several rows of data and then you compute for the mean, it will generate one value: average, standard deviation, variance, square root, etc. All those operators will give us one value. All right, so let's get this time the data coming from NYC flights also. Let's view the weather data. So this is also coming from NYC flights 23. And what do we have here? You have 26,000 observations of 18 variables, okay? And you can see immediately the temp and dew point and humidity, precipitation. These have NA values. So they have missing values. So if we get the summary class, summary of weather, what happens here? Let's take a look at temperature. Okay, here, temperature. Notice, class, the temperature computed for the mean, 59.59. However, there are NAs here. Okay, so in the summary function, it will compute these things. However, what it will do is that it will automatically remove all the NAs, all the missing values. However, if you use the mean function, okay, let's say here, I'm going to compute for the mean of from the weather, dollar temperature, temp. Okay. As you have guessed, it will give us an NA because there are missing values. But for the summary function, it assumed that the missing value, it removed the missing values and then it computed. So that's just the syntax for that summary function. But if we're computing it, class, it will tell us no, you can't do that because there are missing values. All right, so let's use the summary function, the summarize function, not the summary function. Okay, so here I'm creating, so we're creating this object class, summary temp. Okay. Summary temp, then we're using the weather data set, and then okay, summarize. So take note of this, class. Summarize, the function is mean, and the name of the variable that you're going to create is average. Okay, so you can name this any way you want. You can also name this as mean. It doesn't matter. Mean here will be the name of the variable. The computation here is the mean of temperature. Okay, and R recognizes this temperature because temperature is part of weather. Okay, also, so two things will be summarized. Also the standard deviation, SD, and it will create an object called stdev. The name on the left is the name of the variable to be used, and the one on the right is your function. Okay, and we're using the temp data set, and R will understand this because temp is part of weather. So we don't need to put here weather $temp, but you can do that, but it's very redundant. So if you run this and print summary temp, the object that we're creating, print this, what do we get? We get NA values. So notice it created this object summary temp. If I run this, if I view this class, summary temp, okay, so it's a data frame. If you check the structure of summary temp, it's a data frame containing two variables, mean and standard deviation. However, their values are NA. And why is that? Because that object temp where we computed our mean and standard deviation has NA values. So if we want to just ignore those missing values, this is what we do. So let me share this first with you. Imputation. Okay, so I hope this Control C. Okay, chat. Okay. All right. So what do we do? When R generates an NA, it means that you have to check your data because chances are there are missing values. And normally, the last thing that you're going to do is to delete values, especially in this case. There are 25,000 missing values. You only have 26,000 values, 25,000 of which are missing. So, okay, that unless class that these are really data points that are not available, then it's okay. You can now use this. Okay. So this one, this is now the function that we're going to use. Summary temp, whether, and then summarize, same function, summarize. This is coming from your dplyr package. Mean is equal to mean of temp. However, we have to impose this na.rm. Na means not found, and then .rm is to remove. So we're going to remove the NA values, both for the mean and for computing the standard deviation. Okay? And the object the name of the object, the variable is mean and standard deviation. So let's run this, and we see now that this has values there. It has 59.59. It's similar to the summary function. Okay, and if I print this here, there's that summary temp, you can now see that it changed. It updated 59.59 and 12.57. So we were able to compute the mean and the standard deviation class by imposing that na.rm is equal to 3. Okay, so feedback, please, class. Kindly feedback if you're able to follow so far. Waiting for your feedback. Unless you have some questions. Okay, good. Yes, yes. Okay. Ano yung may isang comment dito? Okay, sige, Lucille, thank you. Yeah, good. Good you were able to fix your error. Okay? So I think yung sa selection, may space ka dun. So you have to remove that. Okay, good. Thank you, Lucille. Thank you for that information. Okay, so clear naman tong class, yung na.rm natin, Okay, so again, this just another set of notes. Okay, so let me see how far. I hope we can go to group by because that's where we reach. Now, I'll be requesting class that once we reach the time, I'll just extend a bit. So if you need to leave, just go ahead. What's important is that this is recorded, that you can refer to that. Just the few points that I might be adding. Okay, so let's now go here, class. Okay. So where are we now? Be cautious with ignoring missing values. Okay. R is telling you if it generates an NA to check your data. Okay. All right. Take a look at this class. Whether, okay, whether, and then summarize again. It will create this. It will generate this variable observation and then n. This is a function class, which is a counting function. So it will count the weather, and then it will count the number of observations in weather. So if I run this class, there. Notice no object was created because I didn't create an object here, but it generated this output. Okay. If I gave this a name, then it would have created that object. All right. So there are 26,204 observations. Okay. So this function class and open and close parentheses will count the number of observations. Okay. This one. So I shared this with you, right? Why will this not work? Summary temp1 using the weather function and then summarize, create this mean of temperature, which will be recognized because temp is from weather, and then na.rm is true, and then summarize again, this time standard deviation of temp. So if we run this will generate an error term. Error siya class, there, error. Okay, in the interest of time, let me just discuss it quickly. Why is it an error term class? Because take note of the pipe operator. So let's first run this first step. Okay. And I'll run that first part of the code chunk, control enter. So it generated this object, summary temp1. If I print this, there's summary temp1. And it created this one class. It's an object, summary temp, and then it created this object mean. Okay, the object is summary temp1, and then this variable is mean. Okay, 59.58. Okay, and then what are we saying? Let me just delete some of the objects here. Okay, what are we now saying? Go here. Okay, we're now saying from this summary temp1, we summarize again and we compute the standard deviation of temp. Okay, now why is this an error term? Because the object that we already have, so I'm sorry, na-delete ko. This is our object, and the variable here is mean. So this object does not have any variable called temp. Okay, so that's why the answer here is error. Okay, error on this side. Because take note, class, this is a pipe operator. So what will be placed in the pipe will be the result here. So what will enter the pipe is, okay, this object summary temp1. Okay, and since we are again asking for a summary of the using create a standard deviation of the value and then temp. Okay, so temp is no longer existing here. There's no temp object here. Okay, only mean. Okay, so that's why it returns an error term. Now, if I do this class mean, okay, what will happen here? Okay, again, take note, class, that after this, after we generated this, we run this is the only object that's in the pipe. So let's now summarize again. Okay, stdev is equal to sd and then mean. Will this run? Yes, this will run, class, because there is now this object, there is now this variable mean here. Okay, but if we run this, let's see what happens. If I run this now, I run everything. Okay, summary temp1. It's printed here. All right. It indeed created this object. It has this object with the variable standard deviation. But why NA? Why is there no value NA? Because, class, you cannot get the standard deviation of one value, right? Can you get the standard deviation of 3? The formula is summation of x minus x bar, right? Over n minus 1. Okay, square root. So you cannot do that because you only have one. Good thing, if you have 2 items, then it's okay, but not one. So that's why the value here is NA. Okay, because it could not create a standard deviation, but it was able to push through, go here, class. It was able to go here. But again, we were computing for the standard deviation, and we can't get the standard deviation of them. Okay, class? Is this clear, class? Kindly chat, please, class, if we're okay so far. We have a few more minutes. Any questions about that, class? Are we clear so far? Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so I'll just, so we were saying that this is wrong, okay, because it does not recognize the variable temp. Okay. So this is just an explanation, class. I don't know if I shared this with you. Anyway, I shared this with you. What I did there was just, where am I? Control C, chat. Okay. So it's just to elaborate. I already explained this, class. So this explains it, class. Which I did a while ago. I just created this object first, summarize the mean. So there is now this existing object y with the variable mean, right? And then after that, we ask it to be summarized again, but this time using the temp function, temp variable. So it generated an error term, right? So this is the correct one. Okay, we already did that. All right, this one, class, it's we already discussed select, right? So this one will just create another object, flights date, using flights, where what's inside, the variable included is year, month, and day. I don't know if I share this with you, but if you run this, class, kindly run it. And then we know that what the select function will do is it will create another object, in this case, flights date, and the variables are year, month, day. Okay, that's select is very easy, class. Now let's go to group by. So this is very important. And in the other section, we finished up to the last one. Okay, so let me just, I would want to finish this with a group by. In case I'm not able to, I reached time already, Control V. Okay. Too many. Please bear with me. You may leave the room and I'll just continue until I reach the last part of this. So group by, let me put it, Control C. Let me just share it code by code, Control V. All right, then after that, next one. Control C. Okay, so up to, all right, so let's take a look at this class. Group by. So what does group by do? This function will create a group class for in the data. Okay, so let's first, okay, let's just run this one. Let's create this object, Control C, Control V. Okay, so just run this class and let's see what happens. I'll just call it group month. I changed the name, class. So I'm creating an object class group month, and it's weather. We're using weather and then group by. Okay, there. Take note of group by of group month. It still has 26,204 observations. So nothing changed here, class. If we print this group by group, okay, we printed it. Take note, it's still 26,204. Okay, nothing changed, but take a look at this. It's telling us that it's grouping the object by month. So that R now is ready to compute if you need to compute something that's grouped by month. So this prepares your data, this group month. Okay, so let's go to the next one here. Okay, take a look at this. So summary monthly temperature. So what do we do here? We group by month and then we create this object. Okay. Sorry, we're creating summary monthly temperature and we summarize once again the mean. We create the mean and the standard deviation by summarizing the temperature. This will be recognized because group by the group by month still contains the weather, okay, with the temperature. Okay, and then let's print this. Take a look. Okay. Now, it's being grouped by month, okay? So now, when you calculate the mean and the standard deviation, it will be calculated by the grouping of the month. The grouping of the month is 1 up to 12. So there you go, class. So January, this is the mean and standard deviation of your temperature, right? So we're computing here for the standard deviation of the and mean of the temperature. So if you take a look at this, it's the most hot month is 78 here. Okay, that's July, etc. Okay, so by putting this function group by month, it prepares your R. R prepares your data to group it by month. Okay. All right. So here I'm going to use. It's already time class, so you may just leave. Control C. And also I'm going to just share the other section. Control V. Okay. So we have another data set here. Okay. Diamonds, this is from ggplot2. So if you view this class, view. So we have this data set diamonds. It has 53 observations and 10 variables. Okay, 10 variables. Okay, so okay. So this one, again, class, we group by. We group by cut. If we run this, the table first, we know that this will create the cross tabulation, fair, good, very good, premium, ideal. Okay, 5 groups. Here, diamonds, and then group by cut. It tells us that now our data is grouped, okay? Grouped by 5 into 5. The 5 different groups of your cut. Okay, so now we can use that group by cut and then summarize. Okay, same thing, class. Summarize the average by getting the average of the different cuts. If we run this class, we now have this object where these are the cuts and these are the average prices. Okay. Fair, good, very good, premium, and ideal. Okay, so same thing as above. Group by first, and then we can compute. Usually group by is used with variables like summarize. Okay. Now, if we use this class, average cut, diamonds, and then summarize, let's see what happens here. Okay, take note that there's only one. Okay, because it got the average of diamonds class, average of the price, And since we're not grouping it, then it's just the main average of all the prices. Okay, so that's a distinction. If you want to get the average, a standard deviation via a particular group, then that's what you should do. Okay, I'm not sure if I share this with you. Control C. So let me just finish this. Control V. Okay, good. So we did this a while ago, the count. Okay, by the way, if we want to ungroup, okay, you just run this. Yeah, because a while ago we already grouped it by cut. So to ungroup it, you just use ungroup. If I run this, notice now that the grouping was already removed here. Okay, no more grouping here. Okay, and then just this last one, we already did this a while ago, the n function. So what's here, class? Okay, we group by origin, and then we summarize, okay, create this variable called count is equal to n. And if we run this, we now have the different origins there, and their count. So group by and then summarize again. Now also, this one, Control C. You can also group by not only one variable, but also by several variables. So take a look at this. This is group by two, right? Group by origin and then by month. So what will happen is first it will group by origin. So you have 3 origins, right? And then it will group by month. How many months do you have? 12. So that's 3 times 12, that's 36. So here you will find that you'll have, first is by origin. So you'll have all the origins, each individual origin by month. If I run this, take a look at this. All right. So first is origin, and the origin is their EWR first, and 12 of them, because January up to December, and then next is JFK and then EWR. Okay. So that's what you'll have here. If I print by monthly origin here, there you go. Okay. All right. Then lastly, of course, you may leave class, please, if you need to go. This is just for the recording. And then lastly, now here, I'm saying incorrect. So why is this incorrect? If that's what we want, month and origin, this will give us a different answer, class. So take a look at this. Flights, and then group by origin, and then group by month, and then summarize. Now, first it will group by origin, and then it will group by month. Okay, so what will happen is that the grouping by origin becomes pointless, because the next one is your grouping by month. So walang bearing the grouping by origin. So that's why when you run this, the grouping will now be by month. Okay, because it will supersede the first grouping by. Okay, even if you group by origin first, and then you ask R to group by month, parang nagbago wala ng isip, no? Okay, it will group it by month now this time. Okay, the second group by month will overwrite the first one. Okay, so this one, just study this. Okay, this is another example. Okay, I hope this controls. I don't know if this will fit, but this is the last one that okay, it doesn't fit. So I'll just divide this into 2. Okay, and then just please study this, because next meeting, Control C, we will go to the next Control V. We'll go to the next verbs in. We want to target that by the next meeting. Control C. And then this last one. To control na pala to, sorry. Ay, dami. Control C. Anyway. There, last one, Control C, Control D. Okay, thank you so much, class. Let me stop recording now.